So let's talk about systems and the, the idea of it,
Mm.
right? So you mentioned Alaba,
Yeah.
and I remember sitting and watching. I mean, God bless Charlie Boy and the things he tried to do.
Yeah.
But I remember watching TV and thinking to myself, every time you burn their shops or the CDs that they
Mhm.
bring, you lock their shops. These guys came back and it was as if nothing,
Nothing happened, yeah.
happened. Are we really looking at the right thing, right? So, for example, the issue was the issue the building or the CDs, or was the issue the the structure, right?
Which is
Because
yeah.
the Alaba wasn't. Yes, the place was
It
called
wasn't, but it
Alaba.
wasn't the physical
But
place.
if you take
No.
those guys and
Yeah.
put them in Sambisa,
The
they
same
would
thing would
they
happen.
would do the
Yeah.
same thing.
Yeah.
What they had was a distribution network,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and they could get your music from Alaba to Yaba to Enugu to all these different
Even as
places,
far as Cotonou.
as far as
yeah.
within a day to 2 to 3
Yeah.
days. And I felt like instead of trying to shut that down,
How about trying to work with them?
how about creating, not necessarily work with them, because I know that there was a time when I knew that Alaba was just they didn't want anyone in. It was like a mafia. They didn't want
Yeah.
anyone in.
Yeah.
So instead of trying to burn their buildings, why don't we create options? So I'm talking about the idea of it, and I'm
Okay.
hoping somebody hears this and thinks, "Oh, why haven't we done that?"
Yeah.
So, for example, in Nigeria, there are 900 post offices in Nigeria,
Mm.
right? If we go into a conversation where we're developing a deal around distribution, because as much as we say digital music is it, let's be honest, right? There's a small percentage of people that have Bluetooth phones.
There's a large
Bluetooth
percentage of people who do not even have access.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Right. So
Right.
there's
So
still
it can't
people
happen.
using cars that use tape
CD players,
Yeah.
tape,
and use
yeah.
CD, and they make up a larger percentage.
Mm.
So if we have 900 outlets and we say we spread across 300, and these 300 are the distribution points. So within these places, the people who are going to distribute into the villages, distribute to the places, are actually going to take from there. So we know that, okay, I need to make 5,000 copies of my CD. 20 is going here. 5,000 divided by 300 spread across
Yeah.
regions that I feel
Yeah.
like if we had created an option, because I realized one of the problems artists had, why Alaba was so powerful, was because it was at a point the only option
It was the only
artists
distribution
had.
network that
So
you
I
had.
couldn't go anywhere else. You tell me don't use Alaba, they're pirating your music. Okay, help me get it out then. And
And you
it's a
can't do
challenge.
it.
And the guys then knew it. They
Yeah.
knew. Even now they tell you things like, "Oh, guy, internet don't spoil our business." I think it's just BS,
Mm.
because
course.
I know that they still have the audience that they're selling to.
There's still the ones who push the gospel. There's still the ones who push the Yoruba music, the
Exactly.
Fuji. So,
So
I mean, what we
so
talking
for
about?
me, it's a situation where when I ask about what hasn't changed, I
Mm.
feel like we still haven't gotten to the point where we are forward thinking in our approach to providing solutions,
Mm.
right? And nobody is thinking about how do I become that distribution platform. Well, nobody has come out to do it. They say, how do I become that distribution platform that provides this solution that favorably competes with Alaba? And which brings me to the next point, which is talent. You guys have dealt with a lot of them. And before I even go to this question, please, do you still have any of my songs?
Of course. I have your songs. I have
I
quite a number of your songs.
Well, he would, you know.
I need to burn them. I've been asking Osaki, I was like, do you have? She does. I was like, send to me now. Where do you have it? So I
I'm
can
waiting for
burn
the right
place.
time.
Ah, okay.
To
Pull
release
it out.
to release the album.
Just tell me so I can hide. But in terms of talent, what I'll go back to the same question about talents.
What has
What are the things that haven't changed with talents, and what are the things that you see visibly has changed for better? but the things that you're like, you know what, if they don't fix this issue,
Mm-hmm.
it's gonna be a continuous cycle.
Okay, so I'm going to say something that I don't know, maybe might sound controversial, I don't know. But I feel like um, being famous or being a
Popular.
star or whatever right now is not necessarily based on merit anymore.
Hmm.
And that's a major thing for me. Um, and it's not really. Some people think it's because maybe they'll say, "Oh, your taste in music," and that it's not really about that for me. It's more about the fact that, like he mentioned, people are beginning to gravitate back to the gatekeeper system of
Mm.
doing things. So what happens is someone has money and they can get themselves heard. They can get themselves heard over and over and over again. And
But don't you think that's how it's always been?
no. Now this is the thing. Before, you had talent,
Mm.
right? There was this period in time where it transcended just having money. I mean, at the beginning, that was it. I mean, a record label would sign someone and push their stuff, and it becomes it,
Yeah.
whether you like it or not. But there was this like period in time where that system started to break apart, and then you now started having people who were able to just put themselves out, and it was all about good music. It was all about, oh, this person has talent, this person is, that was what it was starting to become. And then all of a sudden it just flipped on its head and then went back to the same old thing all over again.
Why do you think? Why do you think that is?
Okay, so I think, and I'm not sure about this, but I feel like there was a point in time where artists were willing to work. They were willing to put in the work. They were willing to grow. They were, but now it seems like, I mean, every other day there's somebody that is trying to blow. It's just about blowing. It's not about building an audience. It's not about building a sound. It's not about sitting down in the studio and craft and honing your craft or anything. No, it's just about just drop a song.
Do you
put it out
think?
there,
Do you
bang,
think?
bang,
I
bang.
even have a theory. Do you think that it's because of algorithms on platforms? So if I hit 1 million streams, I get $5,000. Abi? Oh yeah,
That's
how do I
just
get
hit
it?
But that's great online.
Mm.
But we see the same thing happening offline.
Hmm.
Do you understand? So yeah, online we could blame it on the algorithms, whatever. But even offline, I mean, every other day there's just like, I mean, put on TV and then there's just like 50 new artists, and out of the 50, maybe 2 people sound like, oh, okay, this person actually has promise. You don't really have. I don't really see artists. There are a few of them out there. I mean, shout out to those ones who are grinding, and I feel that they started in that era. Is why they still have that ethic, and then they pass that ethic on to the people around them. But you have all these diverse camps of people who, as I mean, you just meet the average person now. There's one I meet some guys dyed his hair, wearing big chains and everything, and he just wearing like, Baba, I want blue. Okay, so let's hear you.
You know the most annoying
Let's
one?
hear you.
The most annoying one is, Baba, I'm the next best thing. I'm the next whiskey.
Do you understand?
But here's the problem. Okay, you've been hounding me for 2 months.
Okay,
Send your music.
yes.
Baba, I never record.
That's where the
So
problem.
like,
Do you understand?
so all this time you've been bothering me. You don't
What were
even
you
have
doing?
music.
And this is a system that where recording is democratized. You can do it in your bedroom.
Yeah.
You don't need a
Anywhere.
studio.
I think, man, this thing is a lot, because on one side there is the fact that Nigeria is, let me put it this way, 75% of Nigerians are poor,
Mm.
and they are constantly looking for a way out.
Yeah.
So in the late 80s, early 90s, mid 90s, thereabout, when Nigerian music started going proper international, like when
Magic Fashek.
Majek, when Fela, when all
Mm.
these people started, and Nigerian artists started making money, and Alaba and all these other structures, when the big labels left,
Mm.
the big international labels, when they left, and the few artists that were making moves and doing things, were making proper actual money, a lot of people looked at them like, oh, okay, I think this music is a way out. It's not even about, oh, I have the talent to do music, da da da. A lot of people just looked at them driving big cars and building mansions and are like, okay, this music thing is a way out.
I'm gonna hop on it.
I'm going to hop on it. I'm going to try it out. So that happened for a while, and then I feel culture also tells a lot. So that culture of you are a musician, so you are rich. It casted. Everybody found out that, oh, wait a minute, this artist is getting broke. This one is not necessarily making money. These, there are more poor artists than rich artists. Whether you get a deal or not, you understand. And then everybody sort of kind of just like left. So what you see is the people that were still doing music at that time were the creatives, were the people that actually had talent, or the people that were working on themselves, or people that they had the reason for them to be there was more than just
The hype.
making money. Because if you enter music to make money, you are definitely going to cut corners.
Yeah.
Because you are just going to want to just
Yeah.
make that money. You are going to streamline everything you do to making money. So if you notice, the culture of releasing albums was really heavy in the 90s, and then it died, and then it became big again.
Had a brief resurgence, and then now
And
it's
then
dead.
Now it's dead. So that's one. The economic part of it is one, Then two, structure. Alaba will buy your album. So for you as someone that is interested in doing music, for you to be able to work on an album,
Yeah.
you have to learn how to be.
I mean,
a musician.
I'll give a typical example. I remember Gomi drilling me in the studio, right? So, and I don't know how many songs we recorded, but I used to go to Night House every
pretty
other
much.
day
Yeah,
after work.
Yeah.
After work.
Like I would leave my office in VI, take a bus, or sometimes I'll take Okada from VI straight to Yaba, right? And I'll record and then go home and then come back in 2 days.
Yeah.
And I was doing this every week, and I didn't release any of the
Anything.
songs. I was
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
recording.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember so many times when I'm recording, Gomi would say, no, do that again. I remember one day, it was overnight,
Yeah.
and I did so many takes that I actually almost yelled at Gomi. Like I was exhausted. I was like, nope, go and do it again. And I think that culture is lost.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
It's
that
missing.
culture of doing it well enough to be good enough to put it out. Not
Yeah.
that I'm saying you must do this till, because now
No.
we've developed every what they call them, inspirational speaker is telling you fail through, right?
Yeah.
Which is okay.
Mm-hmm.
But there are certain things that if you say you're a musician, you want to give somebody the best product.
There's a place of development
Yeah,
for any person.
yeah.
You want a skill, musician, IT
Yeah.
person, coder, writer, whatever. There's a place where you develop
You
your
develop.
skill, you hone it.
And if you look at it, if you look at the artists that have been able to stay there over time and have kept it consistent and have been able to make a difference, you're an industry person, so you know these people. You know that they
You
didn't
know the backstories.
they didn't just
Yeah.
become serious
Overnight,
now.
it's not an overnight thing.
They've been consistent at it. So so I'm in the studio a lot of times with artists, and I see artists trying to reverse engineer hits. So they take a hit, they break it down. Producer, we know this beat pattern
Works.
works now.
So, first of all, give
So
me
first,
the
give me
pattern.
that beat pattern. That's like half of all the work done. Same tempo, same beat, same everything. So now, where we know this melody works, so let's just, and they're trying to reverse engineer into making a hit. So they are not. I don't know if that's making a hit, or that's just
That's just
Copy.
replicating.
that's just
You know,
laziness
I mean,
as
it's
far as
all
I'm
good,
concerned.
but
It's not.
No. See, because at the end of the day, the thing is, the end justifies.
For-
So, for no for what they intend to do, these guys want to make money. Period. And just like every other, industry, every other thing in Nigeria, you understand, make money first. Then we're going to hear you out. So that's one. The whole economic part of it is one. The second thing is social media. So,
The gift and the curse.
yes, as beautiful as social media is, I think the 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 culture of trying to be popular by any means necessary is beginning to seep deep into our system, our culture, like our get up. So we have people that they want to have 1 million followers for just to be popular, just to be known as I'm popular. They don't care whether they're going to become actresses or actors or musicians or
They
porn
just need
stars
to
or
be
whatever
popular.
it is. They just want to get to that place where they're popular because they feel when I get popular,
Then they
people will
begin-
listen to me and listen to what I have to say. Then I can now sell them myself.
So